Hi, folks. I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical
Together
therapist.
we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
And our opinion, of course, Bob.
Top 10 calf exercises to get stronger, hotter calves. Hot, like in hot to touch?
Exactly, Bob. No, they're gonna be hot. You know, you gotta have some hot calves. But you know, we're not talking about the calves like Moo, the cow calf. We're talking about these calves right here. And I thought we'd get Napoleon out.
You had that joke all loaded up, didn't you?
Oh, you better believe it. And they are loving it.
And by the way, if you are new to our channel, please take a second to subscribe to us.
They'll never subscribe
I
now.
know, now they never will. We provide videos on how to stay healthy, fit, pain-free, and we upload every day. And also, we are psychologically disturbed, so please go to Facebook and like us because we need to have that affirmation.
Thank you.
All right.
I appreciate that, Bob. So the calf muscles, let's just look at just a basic of them. Look at the purple tape here represents it going from the calcaneus to the heel bone, big solid bone in your foot. And the gastroc goes all the way up and it crosses the knee joint. Now that little bit of information is real critical when we start to strengthen it so we can actually specify that muscle getting stronger versus the deeper soleus, which is right in here. And that also assists with the same function of plantar flexion or pointing your toes down, which you use every time you walk,
But
run,
that
jump.
doesn't cross the knee.
The
soleus
soleus,
doesn't,
right. The soleus actually connects up into the tibia deep inside. So it's a short muscle. I don't have a tape to represent that.
The reason we're pointing all this out is when your knee is bent, and if your knee is bent like this and you start going on your toes, you're working really mostly the soleus then.
Right.
So like even if you're doing like these,
Right.
it's more the soleus.
So what's so significant about that, Bob, is because a lot of people, they want to get stronger calf muscles. If you want your calf muscles to look that shape that I kind of have a little bit of that, so I use some red tape to show it.
So here you can see it says gastroc on there. That's the gastroc muscle right here.
Right.
And then it also attaches down into the heel.
Right.
The soleus is now underneath here and attaches here, and it doesn't attach way up here on the knee. So.
Right. So if you want these muscles up here to get defined, you're going to do it more with a straight knee as opposed to a flex knee, because that takes that gastroc out of the picture. So that little piece of biomechanics is really helpful, so you know you're strengthening the proper way to get the goal you want. Okay.
Not bad legs there, Brad, not bad.
Well, almost 55 and they're still there anyways, and they work.
You know, have you heard the term, either you're a calf or a calf not? He's a calf, I'm a calf not. So.
I'm telling you, looking on the internet, there's some calves out there that really make a person move.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So anyways.
First exercise.
One. And we're starting from the easiest, say after an injury, or if you have not done any strengthening, you've been sedentary, you can just use some TheraBand.
And that's some of the heavier stuff, the black stuff.
Right. Here's some red, which is a little lighter. You know, you could start out with that. And I'm going to start with my legs straight because that's going to work that big gastroc muscle. And strictly, we call this plantar flexion all the way down, and make sure you come all the way up. Full range of motion. It's going to give you more bang for your buck.
As you may know, the calf muscles are very powerful muscles.
Right.
So, I mean, they can tolerate a lot. So, right.
I'm going to, then, you can always get the heavier black.
And even double it, yeah.
When you're looking for increasing the size of the muscle, you're going to keep your reps low and your intensity higher. So I'm going to pull on this harder, and hopefully it won't break and snap me, and keep your repetition. So by the time you get to 10 to 15, it's getting difficult already, and do 3 sets of 10. And that goes for all these exercises if you want more bulk.
Well, you could actually do higher reps on the calf, couldn't you?
You can, but you won't get the bulk.
Right,
You'll get definition.
Right.
Right. Yeah, usually calf is more of an endurance muscle.
Right.
Because you're walking out all the time. It's a good point. So, that's something that you'll have to...
You can wrestle with which way you're going to go
exactly.
on that. So.
I like that, Bob. Wrestle with it.
All right.
They kind of fit together nice. Then the next one is simple. You just use body weight. You don't even need anything except for maybe something to balance on. I'm going to use a cane. You could use a chair.
Yeah.
Why don't you do some with the chair, Bob?
Okay.
So simply up on your toes, get up nice and high. Good posture so you're up and tall. You're not bent over like this. We want to have good posture. Keep the rest of our body healthy as well.
Be like plie?
Plie.
I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know the terms.
So, Usually people, an average person, you know, that's healthy, 20, 30, 40 years old, can do 25 of these. And that's fine, and then if you can't, you want to build up to that. But when it gets too easy, go to one leg, and that's where you need, most people need something to balance on. Which is nice, because you're working on your balance as well, which is, you know, a good thing for anybody to have.
Calf muscles do play a role in that.
Exactly.
Giving you balance. Boy, I'm feeling that one.
Yeah, oh yeah, Bob.
At age 57, you start feeling this stuff a lot sooner.
You're going to have sore calf muscles by the
Yeah.
time you're done with this routine. Then the next thing, I really like to use this. We talk about full range of motion. When you're doing this on the floor, your ankle's going to neutral. Well, your ankle goes a lot farther. You have all this other range of motion to do.
Dorsiflexion there.
Yep. So go on an incline board. This is a really nice.
Incline boards are nice for stretching too, for stretching the calf. So
Yep.
here you could use it as a double
Double
exercise.
whammy. This one happens to be a double wide one. I can get both feet on at the same time, which is really nice for this. And it's about a 25-degree angle. You can make one if you're handy. You can buy them on the internet for about $25, $30 or so. Good posture, up. And now instead of just going to neutral, we're going all the way down. It's really going to be
So you'll
complete.
fatigue it a lot more rapidly.
Yep.
Yeah.
And again, you're going to work two legs, and then when it gets too easy, simply go to the one leg. And this is when you really notice it, Bob. Give it a whirl.
Yeah, I will like to. I'd like to try it actually.
I want you to get sore tomorrow. Okay.
I'll probably be sore by this afternoon. Oh yeah.
Now do it without letting your heel touch.
Oh
So
yeah.
if I put my finger down there, don't squish it. There you
Gotcha.
go. That
Oh
makes,
yeah, that makes a big difference.
Big difference.
Yeah, it does. There's no rest at all
So
then.
good control, smooth motion without getting
Ooh, I do feel it.
You're going to get cramps, Bob. Yeah, so if you're doing these, this is a muscle that does cramp easily. Do not overdo it the first week or the first day especially. Take your time with it. Be patient.
Yeah, work your way into it.
Okay.
All right, now we're doing the seated bar, right?
Right. Okay. Now, as you get stronger, and this is where the people in the weight room got some weights.
By the way, I'm very impressed with this, Brad. Brad came up with this, and because I never knew of one to do at home with heavy weights, but you could, because they always have that machine in
Right.
gyms for this.
At the gyms. Now, this is my weight barbell because this is about all I can really do. I got to have the
It's almost like air.
the practice ones. Anyways, but you get the idea. You put that across here, and you have to have the right seat height so that your thighs are parallel to the floor is ideal. And
So normally the machine comes up, there's pads, you put your
Right.
your legs under it. And in
Exactly.
this case, you can set this up at home if you have the Olympic bar. And,
Right,
and
yep.
Even not the Olympic bar.
you
any
could
bar
use
would work.
dumbbells,
Sure.
one in each hand. This works a little easier, more stable.
This works because you can put a lot more weight on too.
Exactly. And this is working primarily, remember, the knee is flexed. We're not doing much of that gastroc muscle, the big one on top. We're doing more of that deep soleus muscle. And that's just the way it is.
So that's going to help define it somewhat.
Right,
I mean,
yep.
because you're going to work, you're working the lower.
Exactly.
Right.
So you're going to combine this, the gastroc, this, the soleus, and then you're really going to develop some good definition in that and make them strong in the way it should be. Now again, with the floor there, you're limited to the ankle at neutral position, and we want to get full range of motion. So if you go to a step, now you notice I went to a higher chair because I want to keep my femurs parallel. Now, normally if I'm on a floor, my foot comes to neutral, but now I'm actually going to drop down and get full range of motion throughout all the muscle fibers get strengthened. This is the best way to do it.
You're going to work on this one now.
Yeah, and you're going to feel the difference. Now,
You could do this too with a couple, like a 2x4, right?
Right.
I mean, I mean, you might not get it all, but you'll get
more
range.
right? Yeah. If you don't have a stool or something of this nature, just a 2x4 or 4x4 would probably give you plenty enough there. So be a little creative if you're doing this at home.
That's right.
All right.
And you're going to do the standing toe-ups with the bar.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Just kidding.
I'm spotting you, Brad. Don't worry.
Okay, so then up here, this way you're getting more the balance involved again. You're getting the gastrocs and some postural muscles as well. So you're not just working those gastrocs, but this is a great way to do it. And now here's where If you want to get more range of motion, get a more complete exercise, get all the muscle fibers involved. Up.
Make sure you're safe, that you're not
yep.
losing your balance. We don't want anybody to fall.
Right. This where if you have a machine that holds the weight in that guide, that's the safest way to do this. So if you're not done a lot of weightlifting with the barbell, this probably is not a good idea.
I remember when I was younger.
We all remember that,
No,
Bob.
some guys would actually get on the back of another guy.
Oh.
Have you ever seen that?
I can imagine
It's
it,
a
Bob.
strange thing, but they did it.
When it comes to young men and testosterone,
Yeah.
they'll do anything to get some attention and make it hurt.
All right, last exercise, Brad.
Oh, now this is more for the athlete.
Yeah.
Not real concerned about making the gastrocs look and appear good and bulky, but they want to be very athletic and be able to, like a soccer or football or basketball.
Well, in basketball, I mean, if you're trying to increase your vertical,
Right,
a lot
exactly.
of it comes from the calf muscle, so this would be a good one for
right,
you.
you get into your plyos, and I'm just touching plyometrics. You're going to have to look more into plyos, but it means that you're going to actually jump up and down, and you never stop.
Oh,
never
geez,
stop. And you shouldn't have something like this.
Yeah, you should have real steps.
We are showing the
Boy,
good,
that
good
would've
way to
been-
hurt yourself.
That would have been a good one if he would have went down.
Yeah.
Very impressive, Brad.
Do
that
it
you,
again, Bob.
No,
Give me-
we're not going to do it again.
Oh, hold it, Bob.
I'm not going to have that on film. That you fall down.
Yeah, well, I could have did it. I know that.
I think
but-
they got the idea. So be careful out there. And remember, Brad and I can fix everything except a broken neck.
Yeah.
So
He got excited about that.
I did get excited about that. All right. Thanks
Take
for
care.
watching.